Hey everyone, Sammy here, and welcome to another episode in our AEW Universe mode tonight. We have got Fyter Fest here live from Richmond, Virginia. Very interesting matches tonight, including an amazing cross-promotion match. And here we go then tonight, opening up the action with the team of MJF and Wardlow together for the first time. MJF has requested they're referred to as Dynasty. Very interesting, of course, going back to his MLW days. Today they're taking on the local talent, who are Terry King and Ron Johnson. We got Terry King is the guy with the long blonde hair, and Ron Johnson is the guy with the black hair. Again, another couple of the randomly generated cores on this game, which I absolutely love, the randomly generated cores. But this could be a very interesting stable, these two. Of course, MJF is the brains of the operation, with Wardlow being just a pure strength and aggression of the operation as well. So this could be a very, very good tag team. Of course, a real danger to the tag team division, actually, as well. As Terry King, they're just dropping Wardlow neck first across that top rope. We got 3 matches here on the pre-show. We got this one. Next up, we're going to have a Falls Count Anywhere triple threat match between Dr. Luther, Darby Allin, and Michael Nakazawa. And then the final match of the pre-show will be Shawn Spears, the Butcher, and the Blade taking on the team of Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, and Sammy Guevara. Then on to the main show, we're going to have SCU going up against Proud and Powerful in a tag team match. We got Lance Archer versus Dustin Rhodes. We're going to have the cross-promotional match. I'm not going to spoil it yet. And then our main event of tonight's Fyter Fest is going to be incredible. It is a bit of devil's advocate by me, to be honest. We're going to see all 3 members of the Death Triangle, Pac, Phoenix, and Pentagon, in a triple threat match. The winner of that one will join Hangman Page inside the Elimination Chamber at Blood and Guts to crown the first AEW champion. So that's going to be a really interesting one, that. The moment Dynasty are in control of this, well, they were until Ron Johnson took out Wardlow with that dropkick. So at the moment in the rankings, this is Ron Johnson and Terry King's debut. MJF is currently on -1. Wardlow currently on +1. So it'd be a great match for MJF to win if he can pull this off. Well, he should pull it off. I mean, it's local talent. He should be able to pull it off pretty easily, to be honest. But he's not had the best of times so far, has he, really? We'll see MJF in a few more matches coming up. I think he's going to be part of the Elimination Chamber qualifiers. Of course, after tonight, we'll have 2 people inside that Elimination Chamber. Still space for 4 more. And the qualifiers will be in the next couple of weeks on AEW's Dynamite. And once again, just in case you missed the last couple of episodes, I do apologise if I sound a bit funky. I have a false tooth on the front. It got knocked out when I was a child via a yo-yo incident. Let's not get into that. And it has fallen out during the UK lockdown. And dentist surgeries are not willing to see anybody at the moment. So I'm going to have to live without a tooth for a good few weeks. So I'm missing one of my front 2 main teeth. Which is not fun, but it also means that I've got a bit of a lisp going on, so if I do sound a bit funky, I do apologise. Nice handspring cutter there by MJF, not quite expecting that from him. Now stalking Ron Johnson in the middle of the ring, while Wardlow takes out Terry King on the outside. MJF looking for that armbar, but Ron Johnson fights him away. It's going to be hilarious to see who the first enhancement talent to defeat a main roster star is going to be. At the moment, I must say that the local talent is really making this difficult for the debuting Dynasty here tonight. Dynasty would love to get a win. They want to try and not only improve their singles rankings, but give themselves their first point in the tag team rankings as well. As Ron Johnson now taking MJF and drops him down. Wow. Into the pin he goes, but Wardlow's back in, and Wardlow saves the day. can't believe Ron Johnson just took out MJF. Nearly pinned him if it wasn't for Wardlow. A stamp on the back of the arm there. Ron Johnson now dragging Wardlow across the ring into that leg breaker. Okay, nice. My cat's just been sick on the floor. Great. That's fun. I'll have to tidy that up in a minute. Great. Anyway, armbar locked in by MJF on Terry King. Wardlow fighting Ron Johnson away. Now Wardlow dumping Ron Johnson to the outside as MJF still trying to work over Terry King. Into that DDT. Oh, and she's been sick again. Great. At least this time she managed to make it to the carpet rather than being sick on the wooden floor that I can wipe up easily, eh? Well done. Thank you for that. Yeah, don't look at me like you've not done anything wrong. Little bugger. Anyway. Enough of my trials and tribulations in cat life. Wardlow now with Ron Johnson up on the shoulder, dropping him in with that big F5. Both guys going in for the pin, and Terry King breaks it up. I'm quite sure that was the wisest idea, but then Terry King taking Wardlow down. I tell you what, they're making this so difficult, aren't they? The local talent are really screwing over Dynasty here, who really wanted a strong debut. Wardlow taking Ron Johnson down. It's Terry King now going for the pin on MJF. You want to know why I called him Terry King? It's a mixture of Terry Crews and the Tiger King. Low blow there by MJF on Terry King. Going in for the pin, but Wardlow just couldn't stop Ron Johnson from breaking it up. I'm surprised how long this match is going, to be honest. Wardlow now just launching Ron Johnson across the ring. I think you've got a good couple of wrestlers here, but I think it's going to take them a bit of time to sort of get to the level they want to be at, I think that's going to be what it is. As MJF now stalking Terry King. And goes in for that armbar. Will he tap? No, because Ron Johnson breaks it up. Wow. These two guys making their debut here at AEW. They're supposed to be enhancement talent, but they are really making Dynasty's first appearance here as a team very difficult. MJF is wearing the Crimson Mask. MJF busted open in this match. MJF dumping Ron Johnson to the outside, and Wardlow's gone as well, and now MJF gets dumped to the outside. And MJF gets brought back in the hard way. I'm still amazed by this match. It's gone absolutely crazy. Wardlow just comes in and flattens Ron Johnson with that big boot. And a big knee strike to the side of the face as well. And Wardlow looks annoyed now. Big elbow to Ron Johnson. Another one as well as Terry King just taking out MJF with those boots and elbows and everything. Wardlow now bringing Ron Johnson back up to his feet. Wow, Ron Johnson fighting back at the powerbomb attempt. Just as MJF turned it around on Terry King. Dynasty really struggling here. This was supposed to be a match for them to showcase their ability and get an easy win. It's just not gone well. Oh, Wardlow just dumping Ron Johnson out of the air onto the ground. Now rake at the face, and finally Dynasty taking some control in this match. But can they finish it off? That's the big question. Nope, local talent will turn it back around. Wardlow, big clothesline, taking Ron Johnson down. Wardlow now starting to hulk up a little bit. That's the idea of these sort of matches, I suppose. It builds them up a little bit. They're going to get the momentum they need to push forward and build up momentum in game to be stronger as well, I suppose, is the best way of putting it. MJF, a nice elbow to the face of Terry King. Now takes him out with that elbow. I can't believe how long this match is. Look how the size difference between Terry King and MJF. Terry King's a big lad. Very big lad. And there's a pin by... Don't do this, Terry. Terry, don't do it. Oh my god. Oh my freaking god! Really? That is embarrassing! Oh my god, I cannot believe that MJF and Wardlow have just been defeated by the local talent. Oh my word. I mean, I don't know even what to say at this point. This was supposed to be a match to showcase this new tag team and how great they're going to be in the future. And they've just bloody lost to a bunch of jobbers. Wow. Wow, indeed. Well, back to the drawing board then for MJF and Wardlow, I suppose. Where do they stand now? That's going to be an interesting one. Where do they stand now? And here we go then, triple threat, Falls Count Anywhere. We have got Dr. Luther, Michael Nakazawa, and Darby Allin. All three of these guys love to utilise the old weapon here and there. Should be an interesting match. I think Darby Allin would probably be the better wrestler out of the three. But this is not necessarily about wrestling. It's a good old fight, isn't it, here at the moment? Of course, weapons allowed, so go for it. Let's see how they get on. Darby, nice big clothesline to the outside on Luther. Remember, the winner of this one will pick up 2 ranking points because it is a triple threat, so you have 2 opponents to defeat. You can hear the lisp a bit now, can't you? It's worse on the word Fyter Fest. Hooray for Fyter Fest! That's when I really get the lisp on the go. Dr. Luther now can't quite decide what he's doing. I think he's just standing outside waiting for the other 2 guys to do damage to each other, which is a wise move. Well, it wasn't until Darby Allin tried to get the pin for the win. Luther now does re-enter the ring, and Darby catches him with a flatliner. And now Darby heading up top when Michael Nakazawa's down. Darby dropping the elbow drop right into the heart of Nakazawa, into the pin. 1, 2, only a 2 count. It's pretty close so early on here for Darby Allin. Of course, this is Nakazawa and Luther's debut in AEW here in our Universe mode. As you see, Darby Allin and Luther working together there to take down Nakazawa. And now Luther catching Darby Allin with a boot in the gut, looking for the clothesline. Allin avoided it, then clotheslines Luther to the outside. Allin now bringing Luther back up, looking for a super kick. It's avoided. Luther just slamming Darby Allin face first into the announce table. And once again, Michael Nakazawa's back up at his feet now. They come around the corner. Darby Allin pushing Luther away. Slamming him face first into the announce table once again. And now all of a sudden, Nakazawa again slamming Darby Allin. And Nakazawa and Luther both seem to be going after Allin. I think they know that he's probably the most dangerous man in this match. Luther now, while Allin's down, goes for the neck breaker on Michael Nakazawa. Maybe from their point of view, while Darby Allin's down, they can try and take each other out. Luther now had Darby Allin grabbing Darby with a bicycle kick, but Luther didn't even drop. Darby Allin trips him, and now Darby Allin looking for that single leg Boston Crab on Luther. Nakazawa's back up and drop kick to the bottom of the spine of Darby Allin, forces him to break it. Nakazawa the arm breaker. Now sending Darby Allin to the outside. Remember, it is falls count anywhere. Nakazawa now brings Darby Allin back up to his feet, twisting the arm. Allin fighting back with that stiff right hand. Another forearm in the chest and another one, and Darby Allin with the strikes, but Nakazawa's having none of it, and wow, double axe handle right across the face of Darby Allin, who I think was busted open from that. He's wearing the Crimson Mask. Big DDT there by Lufa on Nakazawa. Now there is still the potential to bring in a hardcore championship in the future. And I think the winner of this one will definitely build the momentum in that division. Clubbing blow to the back there by Lufa, and another one on Darby Allin. Allin fighting back there with the big elbows in the face of Lufa. Clubbing blow to the back. Some big forearms to the face, but Lufa just does not drop down at all. Then Allin throws Lufa straight in to the ring steps. Now, Nakazawa's still down as Allin stalking Lufa. There's a big DDT. But Darby Allin, instead of going for the pin, starts working over Nakazawa. Big forearm by Darby Allin. Now into looking for a neck breaker, but Nakazawa pushes him away. Then rains down with the slaps and a big forearm as well. And Nakazawa throwing Darby Allin straight into the ring steps. It's a pretty brutal match here between these three. And it's Nakazawa, the first man to look for a little bit of assistance. But he can't seem to find anything. Okay, that's weird. There's plenty under that ring for him to play with. Lufa now throwing Nakazawa back in the ring. Big elbow across the face. Darby Allin's back in up on his feet as well. But Lufa now taking Darby Allin up on the shoulders. Drops him with a Death Valley driver. Lufa with a pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Dr. Lufa picks up the win in a triple threat match, which gives him 2 ranking points. Wow, Dr. Lufa. Well, that also does, doesn't it? That also puts Darby Allin even further down at the bottom of the rankings on -3 now. Lufa jumps up to a +2. Nakazawa drops down to -1. And also we see Darby Allin drop down to a -3. That's not good at all for him. It's great for Lufa though. Like I said, we do bring in a hardcore championship. Lufa has got incredible momentum now after that big win to potentially get a hold of that first belt. But we'll have to wait and see what happens as we move forward. It is something potentially that could happen at Blood and Guts. We'll have to find out as we go along. Yeah, we'll see how we get on, I think. But Lufa did incredibly well there. It's a big win to get against 2 very strong opponents, especially Darby Allin, who is now 3 losses from 3 matches. He's struggling, old Darby Allin, at the moment. Really needs a win, doesn't he? Just to help boost him a little bit. Anyway, into the final match of the pre-show. And here we go then, our final match from our pre-show, a 6-man elimination tag. We have got Shawn Spears with the Butcher and the Blade versus Les Sex Gods. We have got Chris Jericho, Le Champion. We have got the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. And we have got, of course, Jake Hager. Now, at the moment, we've seen Jericho, Guevara and Hager pick up a win over El Jobez. And I think that's the only time we've seen them tag together so far. So this is their second time out. Jericho and Guevara did pick up a loss in a normal doubles tag team match alongside against Omega and Hangman on Dynamite this week. And the Butcher, the Blade and Shawn Spears have teamed together once as well, and they lost All In against Kenny Omega and the Bucks. So of course the Butcher and the Blade was sort of brought in as Shawn Spears' muscle, effectively. It hasn't necessarily gone too well for them at this point in time. They've not done incredibly well so far. They are currently joint bottom of the rankings on -1 as well. all the teams down the bottom of the rankings are on -1 anyway, so it's not exactly a massive surprise. Alongside, how many teams? There's 8 teams on -1. So, I mean, a loss here for Butcher and Blade would put them rock solid bottom on their own, which is not where they want to be at this point in time. Wow, nice takedown there by Braxton Sutter on Jake Hager. Andy Williams showing great strength against Sammy Guevara. And these cats are going freaking mental at the moment. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. They're bouncing around the living room and all sorts at the moment. They're just going absolute nutterish. At the moment, the Butcher the Blade and Shawn Spears looking very, very good. Sammy Guevara re-enters the ring. Jericho turns it back around on Andy Williams, and now Jake Hager turns it around on Braxton Sutton. All of a sudden, that's how quickly the match can change around. Now the Inner Circles team is in control. There's a submission there, the bow and arrow style submission by Jericho and Andy Williams. Not expecting anything from that, I don't think. It's a tricky submission to get a win from, and it's difficult to hold for too long. As Guevara now looking for the super kick on Shawn Spears, taking his head off. Doesn't go for the pin though. Big DDT there by Jake Hager on Andy Williams as the submission here locked in on Shawn Spears once again. Nice bulldog there by Jake Hager on Andy Williams. Jericho fighting back down Braxton Sutter. And Jericho, I think, there was looking for the walls, but now it's 3-on-1 in the middle of the ring all of a sudden as Sammy Guevara does slide back in. It's all about the numbers game here. You need that first elimination. That's the most important thing in this match. That first elimination. Standing Spanish fly there by Sammy Guevara. Nice running forearm there by Jericho, taking Shawn Spears down. Shooting star press by Sammy Guevara, taking down Andy Williams. Guevara now with that big senton. There's the pin. But Braxton Sutter was there straight away to break it up. And now Braxton, the big right hand in the gut of Jake Hager, then gets caught with the swagger bomb by Hager. There's the pin. Referee's very, very slow to get there. 2 and 3. And Braxton Sutter is eliminated. We're down to 3-on-2. So I just got frightened the life out of me then. So I know the cats are taking over this episode a little bit at the moment, but I just saw a stuffed mouse fly across the living room. I've never seen it go so high in my life. But either way, it's 3-on-2 now. And it looks like it might only be a matter of time before Hager, Guevara and Jericho win this one. At the moment, it's looking pretty good in the rankings for them. I think Jake Hager is 2 wins out of 2 matches for him. I think Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho both on -1, so they could do with a win. It would not be good, though, for Shawn Spears and the Butcher and the Blade at this point in time. Shawn Spears is really struggling here. He's wearing one hell of a crimson mask as there's the ankle lock here, locked in by Jake Hager. And Spears taps. Elimination of Shawn Spears. It's 3-on-1 now. It's Jericho, Hager, and Guevara versus Andy Williams. Jericho here now just slamming Williams into the mat. A boot in the back of the gut as well. And there is the camel clutch locked in. And there's the tap out to the camel clutch as well. And there is a great victory for Les Sex Gods. But it is another loss, unfortunately, for the Butcher and the Blade, who now sit rock solid bottom of the rankings on their own on -2. And in the singles rankings as well. That's really good for Jake Hager. That pushes him up to very, very high in the rankings. Of course, he will have a qualifier for the Elimination Chamber. And who knows, Jake Hager could be bringing the AEW Championship to the Inner Circle. So I'm just updating the rankings now. That looks a lot better for them. Right, so don't forget, we still have our main show coming up for you here of Fyter Fest. SCU versus Proud and Powerful We've got Lance Archer versus Dustin Rhodes. We've got a massive inter-promotional match. And, of course, that main event, I played Devil's Advocate. Pac versus Phoenix versus Pentagon for a place in the Elimination Chamber to crown the first AEW champion. If you have enjoyed this first part of Fyter Fest, make sure to hit a like and, of course, subscribe if you want to see some more. I've been Shabba Gamer. Thank you much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for our next part of AEW's Fyter Fest. Bye.